Carolina through and through. Hoops, yeah, we talk that blue. We Bleav in Hills hoops. How about you? PJ with that jumper, still the truth. Daht, he the 6-man coming through. Desmond been the voice, and that's the root. We Bleav in Hills hoops.
Do we?
I don't know.
Do we?
I don't know.
Right now today, do we?
Welcome to Bleav in Hills Hoops, brand new episode. We've been out for a little bit. We've been dealing with the flu and all kinds of stuff. All of us been dealing with it. And Carolina's only played like 2-3 games since the last time we came back on. But we're back on. We got a little something to say today. Desmond Johnson in the house, along with former Hills Hooper PJ Hairston and 6-man Daht. The North Carolina Tar Heels, number 14th ranked North Carolina Tar Heels, fall to Stanford last night out west, 85-80. And I was telling my guys I was going to write out a show today. I was going to do a little of this, do a little of that. I woke up this morning like with violence, like with anger on my heart. Like, we're going to talk about this game because they were up 12 points in the second half. And I look away for a little bit, come back, we down 4 with like 6 seconds to go. And I'm like, what happened? So who wants to start the airing of grievances here? Because both y'all, PJ, like, you got something you want to say right off the bat. Like,
Right.
What is it? What is it with this squad? Because we see they got the talent, they've got the depth, they've got the shooters, they got everything. But it feels like
you can have all that, but if you don't play defense, it doesn't matter.
Dude, that Stanford hits what, 16 threes?
Bro, they had 32. I said this, 32 total field goals. 32. 16 of those were threes. That means they scored 48 points from the three. They hit 15 free throws, so that's 63 points. That means that other how many? 95. That other 32 points came. That's 2-pointers.
Not to mention, this is the same Stanford team that just got shellacked on their home floor by Notre Dame. They scored 40 total points against Notre Dame, and then they let the freshman come out and drop 36. Y'all told me Seth was our defender.
Yeah.
Y'all told me that Seth was our perimeter defender, and he has been getting cooked ever since we got into conference play. And I love Seth. I love his family. I love this is nothing personal against him, but when you hang your hat on being the defensive guy, you hang your hat on being a senior, and you let a freshman come drop 36 points off. It's a Stanford record. It's a career high for him. Wake Forest went fool on us. Boopy going crazy. Did you see what Boopy just did to Virginia Tech last night?
Yeah,
but didn't play against Duke.
But didn't play against Duke. Right. Like, I'm just so disappointed in it. At the beginning of the season, I thought that locking down other guards was going to be our strong suit. Like, that's something I was bragging about. That's something I was hanging my hat on. Like, I don't care who your guard is. We got Seth out there. Seth can guard 1 through 3 and lock them down. Whoever your best player is, Seth is locking them down. I ain't seen it.
Mm-mm. And
it's not just Seth, but to be clear, because Fears did the same thing when Seth wasn't even playing. So it's not just Seth, but the defensive rotations from the guards or just the defensive sets. I'm not educated enough to question Hubert Davis. And the last time I challenged Hubert Davis, I lost my job on my day off. So I've been a little scarred with that. But what the hell is going on?
Let me just say one more thing. There shouldn't be defensive rotations if you're playing defense. If you're playing good defense. Nobody should be wide open if you're playing good defense. There shouldn't be times on defense where we're scrambling to find a man if we're playing good defense.
But there's a steal shot with Kyan screaming like, Luka, you're leaving it wide open. And Luka's in the paint. But my point to that is, even if Luka was guarding him, dude in the paint would be wide open. Like, how does it always look like it's 7-on-5 against us? Like,
so what causes that? Like,
I don't know. I want to ask PJ, because again, one of the things we pride ourselves on at the beginning of the season was having guys that could play the 1 through 5. Like, we bragged about how Jaren Stevenson can play the 1 through 5. He can defend the 1 through 5. You've seen Seth go up against 5s that's trying to dunk and meet them at the rim and block it. Like, we have guys that can play the 1 through 5. So why is it even that much switching going on anyways?
that same word that I use for them games where we play like the Woffords. That's what Stanford is in our conference, like the Wofford. Because last year they were the worst team in the conference. This year they were picked to be the worst team in the conference. So I'm thinking, and I'm not gonna say I think. I know what it was. Them boys out in Cali, they out in Cali living good. They didn't have the energy for the game. That's what I feel like. They didn't show up for the game because they out in Cali.
See, I'll go.
And if I'm wrong, strike me down.
I'll go even further than that. They thought that when they came out in the second half and had that burst, like an 8-0 run or whatever, and they went up like 12 or 10, like real early, I think they thought Stanford was going to lay down, and Stanford did not because of this this kid, man.
That's the top 5 scorer in the nation that I was telling y'all about that played for Stanford.
Corey, this dude, he got a bag. Like he was doing everything. He was hitting threes. He was driving in the paint. He was everywhere. Hit jumpers, little mid range. Like he was.
Every guard has looked like that against us, Des.
But why?
You know where he'll be at. You know where he'll be at next year.
He different.
He's either going to be in the league or he's going to transfer.
Yeah, you could tell from his game last night. I was like, he gone. Like he gone.
No, either he's going to go to the league or he's going to transfer to a way bigger school like a Kansas or something like that, where he can,
But he's smart though. He's smart, and his parents really, really prioritize education. So
he's going to go to Ivy school.
I could see him over there in the Duke jersey.
Or he might be at Stanford for 4 years. You never know.
Why not?
Stanford might have the money to keep him. You never know.
Why not? He's the best player to ever play for Stanford. But look at this. Look at these numbers real quick. Boopy Miller, 27 points, 12 dimes. Wake Forest, Nate Calmes, 28 points, 9 dimes. Abuka last night, 36 points, 9 dimes. Like, we're getting cooked by everybody. Not to mention, everybody is scoring double-digit threes on us since we started conference play.
That's alarming.
Last night they allowed PJ just told you, 16 threes. Now, for somebody who's been watching Carolina basketball for a very long time, this is something that I've always complained about. And I'm talking, we can go back to when Roy was coaching. Like, I would always be like, why can't we guard the perimeter threes better than this? Like, even when you think about freaking the Villanova shot, when you think about the Austin Rivers shot, like, we always get cooked by a three. Like, what is the deal with perimeter defense?
I think a lot of times when I see them, Carolina guards typically go under the pick for that three as opposed to going around it, like in front of it and fronting it. They typically try to outrun it around the back end of it. Maybe PJ can talk to this. That's what I see on TV.
It's whatever the big man calls.
What do you mean?
Because if the big man is the man that sets the screen, so that's whoever the 4 or 5 man is man. So if he's going to set the screen, that big man is supposed to tell the guard where to go on the screen. Now, if he goes up and he screens under and the guard goes under and they hit the shot, that's not on the guard.
That's on the big man.
That's on the big man.
Yeah, I can see that.
But 9 times out of 10, if they set a screen and it's closer to half court, you're supposed to go under because you can get back and meet them. But what people are doing now, they're doing the flip screen. So So you go up to half court and basically set a screen, the man goes under, you get close to the 3-point line, that big man turns around and sets another one for him to come back this way, and that forces him to go over. Yeah. And it also slows down the communication because you're moving too fast. So I don't know if it's something in there, because it's like every time we get in a pick and roll situation on defense, we're automatically scrambling as soon as the first pass is out. And that's frustrating.
Is that on our wings though? Because
yes, because guards are coming off. You got to think. So y'all won't understand it. Well, you may. But if a guard comes off a pick and roll, if the guard comes off pick and roll at, say I'm on the right side of the court and the big man comes set screen, I'm dribbling left. If I come off the pick, if I come off the pick, the man that's at the bottom guarding the guy on, if it's one side on that side of the court, that man at the bottom is supposed to come tag the big man. What we're doing, I'm looking at it. They're picking on Luka. When Luka's in the game, that's when they're doing it opposite of his side, and they're swinging it back opposite court. Luka's not making the effort to get back, so now somebody else has to do it, and they're going to get his man. Now Luka has to run all over the court, or whoever that man is, and they have to find that man that's open. And 9 times out of 10, we're late because we don't know who's going to end up open.
what you just said, that's why Luka's not starting anymore. That's why Jaren Stevenson got the start last night. Because I was like, oh, they put Stevenson back in the starting lineup, and I couldn't figure out why. Everything you just said, that's why. Because Hubert understands that. Because Luka ain't really playing defense. He's 6'6". He ain't really.
Defense isn't all about guarding one-on-one. It's Carolina's about team defense. It's never been a one-on-one thing at Carolina.
And defense is about wanting to play defense too. Like you have to want to play defense.
That's why you do closeout drills. Those drills where you swing the ball across the court and you got to sprint out there to your man and chop your feet, put your hands up. Like that's.
But you've been doing those drills since Pop Warner, though, P. Like this is like, especially when you get to a Carolina level, you've been doing this your whole freaking life, man.
I think
we pay you $2 million to play point guard for us. And you out there with 3 points, no assists, looking like a deer in headlights.
3 points in the first 5 minutes of the game. Didn't score the rest of the game.
He hit a 3 early and then didn't do anything for the rest of the game. Matter of fact, let's go on and talk about that situation because me and PJ were talking about it before Daht came into the studio where we were talking about how this Carolina team, we've had enough games now. How many games did they play?
16, ain't it?
16.
No, 17. Now last night was 17 and 14-3.
Yeah, 14-3. So we've seen 17 games. We've basically seen almost half a season of play. This Carolina roster does not have a traditional Carolina point guard on it. Derek Dixon might grow into one, but Kyan Evans is not a traditional Carolina point guard. Like he is not what you're used to seeing from a floor general from Carolina. I think it's affecting the other 4 that are on the court. Like he doesn't seem like he directs the game, right? Like he's just kind of
because he's not doing one or the other. Like if you're not going to score, you at least need to have 8 or 9 assists.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And then some nights you might be hitting from 3. You might hit 4 or 5 and might have 3 or 4 assists. That's cool. But you can't do both. Right. Like you can't have 0 points and then have 2 assists.
Kendall Moss will have games where he would have 7 points and 19 dimes.
Mm-hmm.
I played with Kendall. Kendall, I remember one stat sheet. I forgot who we played. Kendall had 2 points, 0 rebounds, but he had 14 assists.
Yeah.
I bet y'all won that game.
And his plus minus was through the roof because when he's on the court, he's making stuff happen without scoring the ball.
Can Kyan Evans do that? Do you think Kyan Evans? Because see, I don't believe in a player growing into that at the college level mid-season. Like you kind of are what you are. Like whatever you were in November, you're probably going to be that in January too, unless you just had it in you to begin with to kind of grow in season. I don't see that in Kyan Evans. Like this ain't Colorado State. Like he can't just turn it on like in February and start torturing people.
And that's where I was talking about when I said when conference play starts, nothing else matters. People are gonna play different. People are gonna show up on nights you didn't expect to show up. Nobody expected that freshman to drop 36 on us last night.
Nobody expected the dude off the bench to come and give you like 17.
Yeah,
come on. So like
there was opportunity.
Conference play is different. You can go on the conference play 0-10 and be 18-2 in the conference and win it and go be a top seed in the tournament.
Yeah.
That non-conference schedule does not matter. People don't understand that. It matters, but it doesn't because you get those quad wins. You get what I'm saying? And the quad wins matter in non-conference. But when you hit conference play, bro, like nothing else matters and nobody else has nothing to lose. Like you're going against the same people every other night for the next 2 months.
This is what I was worried about because this ACC is not last year's ACC or really the ACC the past 4 years. Like, this is a much tougher. I'm sitting there looking at the standings right now.
Where we have 8 teams in the tournament.
I think maybe more than that.
Maybe 9 or 10.
Yeah. Duke is Duke. Duke is 5-0. They're 16-1. They've only lost 1 game to Texas Tech by 1 point, and that was like 3 weeks ago. Duke is still Duke. Clemson is 5-0, y'all, in conference play. They're 15-3, like overall. Miami is 4-0 in conference play. They're 15-2. Virginia,
and mind you, Miami was one of the worst teams in the conference last year as well.
They just lost Larinaga last year.
And mind you, I don't know one player on Clemson's team or Miami's team.
Me either.
And reality is, I didn't know anybody on the damn Stanford team last night. And it seems like our players did just as much scouting as I did. Because it didn't seem like they knew who the hot person was either, dog.
But see, like as I'm naming through some of these, like Virginia is 4-1 under Ryan Odom. They're 15.
Virginia is good. No,
that boys, yeah, they are very good.
No, that big. They brought a guy back from overseas too. Mm-hmm. His name's like D. Ellen.
Yeah, I saw some highlights from him last week in a game. He's
good. he's good, and they can score. They're not the old UVA that scored 30, 40 points a game.
No, they score like 85.
Yeah, they're
weird
putting up
basketball play.
numbers,
Yeah.
and
But
they're
they
playing
still play
defense.
though. Yeah,
And they're playing
And they
defense.
play defense. NC State is 3-1 after Will Wade kind of came in and talked that talk, and then they went through their non-conference. They started to turn around a little bit. They're 12-5. Syracuse is 3-1 in conference play right now with Carmelo Anthony Jr. And Stanford is going to enter the top 25 this week because they just beat us, number 14, and they beat Louisville at home on January the 2nd. Like, they're going to probably go in. Now, I think Louisville didn't have Mikael Brown Jr. when they played them, but
doesn't
still,
matter.
yeah, they were still ranked. They were number 16 when they played them. SMU. All these teams are getting. My point being, these teams. I'm worried that these teams, SMU and Stanford, are going to start getting looks nationally because they beat us. That's because nobody paid attention to SMU. Nobody paid attention to SMU until they played us and beat us. And now everybody's like, "Oh, SMU's a pretty good team." They're this and that. Same thing's about to happen with Stanford.
I didn't even know Boopy Miller. He went to SMU. I didn't know where. I thought he graduated. I thought he graduated from Wake Forest and went overseas.
Nah,
I didn't even know he was at SMU.
I just didn't know where he went, and half the time I forget SMU was in the ACC. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, that's right, SMU's over here. So you
just named how many teams before you named us?
Oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's not even counting Louisville. Louisville's 2-3 in conference play, but
Louisville doesn't have one of their best players. So if they get him back, they could easily get on that train. Just like
what the hell are we gonna do? Because we do have all of our best players.
And that's what I said. I said this season could go from sugar to sugar honey iced tea real quick.
It's looking like it. And like folks is on X like, yo, they've only lost 3 games. Calm down. But 2 of those games are disgusting losses.
Yeah, Michigan State's the only one where I'm like, okay,
absolutely disgusting.
The other 2, I'm like, we gave that to them, like both times. And again, it goes back to that. But the main reason why we lost last night, free throw percentage. We can't hit free throws to save our lives. And I was looking it up before we started. Carolina ranked out of how many teams are there total in Division I? There are
it's like
365 teams. Matter of fact, App State has the worst free throw percentage in the country at 61.3%. That's number 365. You don't have to scroll up very far to get to Carolina. Carolina is sitting at 306. Wow. Out of 365 teams in the country, we are shooting 306th. We are 67.9% from the free throw line. And if you are a diehard, lifelong Carolina fan, that stat alone makes you want to throw up a little bit in your mouth because that just
the craziest thing about that stat, we still average like 85 points a game.
I know. We could average 105 and we would just hit some free throws.
How many times have I said that all year? If we just hit 8 more free throws and 4 more threes.
It's the only qualm I have right now with Caleb Wilson. It's the only issue I have with Caleb Wilson right now. Is like he's got to work on his free throws because he missed some free throws last night that could have, pushed us a whole different direction.
He's missing free and Seth. Listen,
some too.
I love Seth Trimble, and I never want to be on the record as saying anything negative about Seth. But since he's been back, he's been a bit of a shell of himself.
How you mean?
Scoring wise, like I'm seeing like different videos on X where he's like his laps on defense where he's not getting back on D, and that's just not Seth. Like I'm wondering if it's something in that locker room. And PJ, you've hinted to this a couple of times, but I'm wondering how much that's starting to affect players. Like even with Caleb being visibly frustrated that he only had 2 touches in the second half against Wake Forest. Like, how do you only give your best player, your 5-star, 2 freaking touches in 20 minutes?
And he had 20 and 10 at halftime.
I know, CJ. That's a good parlay. We know.
And that's why I've seen people going like Caleb Wilson to the freshman wall. I'm like, has he? He scored 26 points last night.
He scored a season high last night.
Freshman wall. If he hits a freshman wall, it's because somebody in that locker room put one up.
Yeah, Caleb Wilson's fine. I'm not worried about Caleb Wilson. Caleb Wilson.
I'm not worried about Caleb or Henry.
Yeah, Henry gets better to me every time I see him play. Like,
I'm not worried about Seth. Are you worried about Seth? I'm gonna say names, and y'all just tell me yes or no. Are you worried about these people?
Take out Caleb and Henry.
Yeah,
I'm taking them out. We've already discussed it. Kyan Evans, are you worried about him?
Very much so.
Yeah.
JP, are you worried about him?
I'm not worried about him. I'm worried. No. I'm worried about why he's not playing as much as he should be.
Yeah, he only got a couple minutes last night. Yeah,
he had a sequence last night that pissed me off though. He comes down, has a turnover, doesn't get back on defense. The next offensive series, he tries a contested step back three and misses it. We go
Maybe that's why he didn't play much.
I didn't see JP anymore for the rest of the game.
Okay, okay. Yeah. That sounds like a R-Dub reason to sit you for the rest of the game.
Like, I was sitting there because I'm blanking. Like, how do you just turn the ball over like that? Damn, then you don't get back on defense. Then he comes down.
Then you come down and shoot the ball.
I
didn't see that.
The shot didn't bother Hubert as much as him not coming back on defense. Probably that's why he got yanked, because he didn't play D after he shot.
And to your point, PJ, in our chat, you had mentioned something about Jaden Young getting minimal minutes. Well, to that same point, this dude that came off the bench, I can't remember buddy's name right now, but the light-skinned dude with the hair and the tattoos, who's like 4 for 3 at one point of the game.
Jeremy Dent-Smith.
Yes. So HD is trying to put anybody on this dude, like somebody guard him. Like he's cooking everybody. So he puts Jaden Young in the game. The next series, I don't know what happened, but this dude gets a wide open look from the top of the key. He missed the three, but Jaden was late, like trying to close out on him. Didn't see Jaden Young anymore for the rest of the game.
And that probably has something to do with how he, and that might have something to do because, it's crazy. I remember getting benched when we played Duke at the Dean Dome. I think it was my freshman year when they had Andre Dawkins, and I was guarding Andre Dawkins. Coach Williams, he sat me down not because I didn't get to the shot, but because of the way I ran through the screen and allowed him to get the shot. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. How did you run through the screen?
So with Andre Dawkins, because he can shoot, them dudes can shoot. So all of them, he wanted you to chase them. So like if he catch it, you're kind of like right behind him, so he can't just stop and shoot it.
Yeah.
As opposed to going off the screen and going under it, where he can catch it and kind of step back and get a better look.
Right.
So the whole point was just trying to force them to put the ball on the ground instead of getting a wide open look. And I remembered it because as soon as it happened, I saw Hairston getting right off the bench. I said,
Time is up. You knew what it was. Well, I'll go have a seat. He going to those lapses of judgment, like even to Dez's point a second ago, he was like, when we started the second half on that little 8-0 run, 10-0 run, and took that lead, we had done that at the end of the second half. At the end of the second half, we went up like 10, 11, and I'm like, we're about to spank these boys. Let's get it. And then it's a 2-point lead at halftime, and I'm like, we let them score 45 points in a half, and they didn't even score but 40 points against Notre Dame.
And that's the other thing. This is the second time this year we'd have let somebody score 50 plus on us in the second half.
You can't do that. You can't do that. Win.
SMU scored what, 61?
Yeah,
in the second half.
They were unconscious from 3-point range, though. They were shooting over 50%.
So they hit Stanford hit more threes than SMU.
Yeah. But I don't understand it because I feel like it's the same storyline that falls Carolina no matter who we have on the roster. Why can't we guard the three? Like, why is that one dude from the opposing team always go off on us? Like, whoever.
I saw the funniest comment. Somebody said, it seems like it's like to me, every time we play a bad team, they turn into the 2016 Warriors.
Every time.
Yeah, right. We're their Super Bowl, I guess. I don't know.
I'm sick of that, man. Like, I'm sick of that. I'm sick of us just accepting that and just and constantly repeating that like it's law. Like, if we know that as fans, why the hell the damn players don't know that? And I know PJ's been on here and told us we do know, but you got to understand they playing their best game. Like guys coming off the bench. This dude number 11 for Stanford, he averages 6 points a game. Dude's like 4 for 5 from 3. Like, but when they're getting wide open looks, like these are D1 players, dog. Yeah. They can score. It's almost like when people try to say that dude that sits the bench in the NBA is a scrub.
Nope.
Nobody in the NBA is a scrub.
I argue about that all the time. Because the 12
members will YMCA and watch him cook for 5
hours. The same way as a D1 player at a Duke or Carolina, there's no way that player is a scrub. That dude will come to the wide and give you a 30-ball Jamal, as my dude say on Instagram.
You can take the 12th man off of any NBA team and put 10 of them together and make just a random team. And you can put college athletes against them. They will run through them. And I'm sparkle bedazzle. They are pros for a reason.
So Jeremy Dent-Smith and Ryan Argawal is the guy you're talking about, the light-skinned dude who was hitting the threes. They both scored 20 each And Stanford won. I didn't even realize it. Stanford won without their second leading scorer, Chisholm Okpara. He was out with a lower body injury. He didn't even play.
And that's like the 4-man. That's the dude that was supposed to have been guarding Caleb.
Yeah, so he was out. So the inside was pretty wide open and that's why Wilson and Vassar 8. They both scored 26 for Carolina. But then I'm running out of good things to say about both of them. Like they're fine. They're
like, and that's the other thing though. You know for a fact Henry and Caleb are going to do their thing. You know that for a fact.
I love it.
And if they don't do their thing, they're going to do something to impact the game. You know that for a fact. Seth, you gotta Seth is supposed to be the third scorer, and don't get me wrong, Seth can score. He's the transition guy. He's the motor. He's like the everything we need to go well for us to play well. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's that fourth guy down. Because remember we were saying how we needed a third guy. We need that fourth guy.
Who is it?
It's supposed to be Kai and Evans.
I was gonna say usually it's the point guard. If the Carolina point guard's not number 1 or number 2 in terms of scoring, if they're not Ty Lawson, you know what I mean? Like or
and you look at that list we put together when we was debating who was the best point guard. Every one of those guys, the only ones that wasn't a certified bucket was Ed Cota. But he didn't have to be sitting there playing with freaking Jameson and all them boys. You dig what I'm saying?
And it's crazy because Kendall was a bucket. Kendall could score.
Yeah, the only one out of the 5 that we picked that I wouldn't call a score was Ed Cota. But Ed Cota is probably the best passer out of all of them that we have.
Exactly.
This guy, Colberry, Ty Lawson, Ed Cota.
You got to be one or the other, dog. And Kyan Evans hasn't shown me he's a great passer or a confident scorer.
And even if you're not one or the other, be a lockdown defender.
Something
right.
Like you get what I'm saying? Don't have 8 assists, have 6 steals. Like you get what I'm saying? Have 6 steals, have 8 rebounds.
My God, JP Mundy in the comment section. Shout out to everybody watching us on Facebook, YouTube, and X right now live. And it is Mailbag Thursday, so if you got questions, you can ask us while we're on here live.
Oh, I see that.
He asked a question for PJ: is it time for Hubert to stop switching 1 through 5?
Good question.
Absolutely. I did honestly. I think they should only switch 1 through 4. Unless the only way I say you switch at the 1 through 5 is if the 5 is like a pure pick and pop big and doesn't like really post up a lot.
I was going to ask you this too from watching last night. Do we play zone at all? Do we play zone defense? No. It's always man, right? Because I've been calling high school basketball and everybody plays zone pretty much in high school.
But if we're playing man, but Des, think about it. We're playing man and giving up threes. If we go zone, we're gonna give up double that. Like if you can't even rotate, if we can't rotate to the man we know we're guarding, zone is about spaces. So if you can't cover your space, your area, it's no point even playing zone either, because playing zone is harder than man at some points.
But the only reason why I would like to switch and throw some zone in there, and again, this is somebody who, 1, would never want to be a head coach. 2, is not questioning coaching, because the last time I did that, I got fired on my day off. But the zone, because we have such lengthy players, it seems like they can cause more havoc with their length in the zone, especially if you put like a Jaren Stevenson at the top. And I'm not talking about a 2-3. I'm talking about a 3-2.
A 1-3-1.
A 1-3-1 or 2 or 3-2, where you got Jaren up top, 2 guards on the wing, and then you got one dude down on the blocks. Like, I like that type of energy.
Okay, so let me tell you that. So with a 1-3-1 with our starting lineup, I'm telling you, our rip Caleb will be at the top.
Right.
Seth will probably be on the bottom running the baseline.
Okay.
I can see that too.
You put Henry dead center in the middle because he can stand in the paint. Mm-hmm. It's those wings that are going to be the issue.
You got JP on one wing.
That's fine. But you have to know the rotations in a 1-3-1. You can't just run a 1-3-1. Because when Seth is running that baseline, he has both corners, no matter what. Nobody else is supposed to go to the corner but Seth. But if the ball is swung to the wing, Seth steps over a couple steps. That wing on the other side is supposed to drop to make sure there's no lob threat or none of that. And with that being said, if that's Luka or if that's somebody they know they can pick on, they're going to do that every time.
See, I would rather, if we're going to play zone, I'd rather play a box and 1, because there's always that one.
It's always one.
That's going off on us. So you put Seth as that 1, if he's supposed to be our defensive stopper, you put Seth on. So like last night, for example, Stanford hitting all these threes or whatnot. You put Steph. I wish we had Steph. If you put Seth on Luka Corey, they had Steph last night.
They had two of them.
you put him on a Corey, and then you allow in that box, you allow Vassar and Wilson. And I'll probably, like you said, PJ, I'd probably put Wilson at the top of that box and have Vassar at the back of it. And you got the length. So you put, say, like Stevenson and Vassar on the bottom of that. You put Wilson and whoever the other guard is up there, and you got Seth running around after Corey. You might be able to get to Dent Smith and Agarwal hitting those threes a little bit quicker because they're already sitting there on the wing. You know what I mean? Like, because that's kind of where they were shooting. They were shooting.
You talking about a box? You talking about a box and one?
Yeah, like if they ran a box and one last night with Seth Trimble trailing around after Koji or whatever.
It's way easier said than done because out there in game speed, say Seth gets beat by this much, one of them gonna help.
Yeah, that's it.
You get what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, he was cooking Seth last night.
That's what I'm saying. So in a game like that, right?
That
so in a game,
of all of his 36 points, it's a different Tar Heel in every frame.
I'm gonna give him his flowers though, because that kid is good. He's going to play in the NBA. That kid was
that's who I was telling y'all about when I said Stanford has top 5 country. He's a top 5 scorer in the country.
He got tools, man. I was just like, who is this kid? And then how did he get to Stanford? Like, why is he here? And like you said, they said it on TV about the academic stuff and everything else. He wanted to go to an Ivy League school.
Yeah, he was going to Harvard.
Yeah,
he told his parents like, nah, man, like I don't want to go to Harvard. Let me go somewhere where academics, but I can still hoop on a level where I can get some looks.
Stanford.
So ended up.
Go back to what you was doing a minute ago, Daht, where you were running through the roster asking us if we was worried about certain players, because I was very curious how this was going to play out.
Okay,
you stopped at Kyan. Go ahead.
You stopped at Kyan.
No, I didn't stop at Kyan. I stopped at JP, and y'all said y'all weren't worried about JP, but you worried about his minutes.
Yeah.
So now Derek Dixon. Are you worried about Derek Dixon?
No, I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about his minutes, but
as
a player, no, he's still the same guy that I felt.
Are you worried about Luka?
Yes, I am worried about Luka.
I am, but I'm gonna tell you, I am.
Yeah, what are you worried about? If you say yes, if your answer is yes, let me know what you're worried about.
He's very streaky with his shooting, and his defense, like you said earlier in the show, it's kind of a liability. Like in terms
non-existent. I'm just be honest with you.
Teams are picking him out, like to run their sets through, and it's like, if you got a player like that, then you're really playing with 4 players on the court. Like, because now you're having to compensate for his deficiency on defense, which is taking that guy away from whoever he was trying to guard. And everybody's having to look where Luka's doing.
So what are you saying is we're basically playing what, 5-on-4?
Pretty much, yeah. And that's why Luka ain't starting. That's why Stevenson got back in, because Hubert saw 3-4 games of Luka out there, and you can see. I'm one of those fans. I watch like facial reactions, like on the court, like and the way players are interacting with each other. Are they talking to each other out loud? Are they like, encouraging, that kind of thing? I feel like I see Luka and the other wings kind of like not arguing with each other, but just like trying to get on the same page. I see that with him and Caleb Wilson a lot, where like it feels like Caleb's telling throw up the lob or whatever. He'll throw it up like a second too late, and then gets like stolen and gets back the other way, and they lose 2 points. Or Caleb's open, Luka's doing something and doesn't see Caleb's open until it's too late, and the defense has already rotated over, double him probably. So Luka has to swing it the other way. It's like stuff like that where I see the frustration like on the court. And again, I'm not in the locker room, I'm not on the team. I can only just convey what I'm seeing, and that's what I see in terms of that. And I can only add all that up, and that's probably why Luka is on the bench. Even though he's 6'6", he's basically a semi-pro, but he's also a European player, and European players aren't necessarily known for playing defense. So look at Luka Doncic. Like they're not really known for playing defense. It's really a different kind of.
You can't. I don't think you can do that. I'm sorry. Luka averages 35 points a game.
I'm not comparing to Luka. I'm just saying they're both European.
If you're not going to play defense, you have to be.
That's all.
But if you're going to be a liability on defense, you got to at least average a dub.
Yeah,
you got to average a dub. Like
he's too streaky to do that right now. And I thought maybe coming off the bench might help, because he might be like a spark, like an offensive spark. And he did, to his credit, last night. He did.
He was third. When he third leading scorer for us last night, he had like 13.
13. He had 19 minutes, 4 from 9 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. He actually hit all 4 of his free throws. And that would right. Caleb Wilson, 4-7 from the line. Jaren Stevenson, 4-6. Henry Vassar, 6 of 11 from the free throw line.
I told y'all.
Seth Trimble, 2 of 4. we were 20 for 32 from the free throw. We shot 63% from the line. We just hit our free throws. This ain't even a game. Like we
The
end up
guys
winning.
that always go need to be shooting free throws every day.
Yeah,
Like
they
Caleb
shoot
Wilson,
like
Henry
that.
Vassar, Seth, that whole stuff. Everybody needs to be practicing free throws, but specifically those three, because those are the three that are going to be taking the majority of the shots.
Mhm. Especially if
Caleb,
Vassar, the way
Henry,
he's
and Seth
playing,
need to find a basket together
Yeah.
and shoot 20 apiece.
yep.
Every practice.
every
At
house
least
to
20.
be in there just shooting.
Like,
Now, Stanford only shot 65% from the free throw line, but they shot 57% from three. They hit 16 to 28 3-pointers.
That's what PJ was saying, man. Like when PJ did that math, man, it really made my head pop off a little bit. Like the fact that they made 35 field goals total.
32.
32.
Half of their field goals were
total,
made threes.
15 of those were threes is absolutely insane.
Half their shots were 3-pointers.
Absolutely insane, dog.
Like I'm the type of player, like I'm the type of person, like when somebody get hot like that, I ain't no dirty player, but when you coming off that screen, I'm gonna hit you with something. Like you're not gonna get that shot. You gonna feel it before you take that shot.
But let me ask y'all this too. When y'all talk about Luka and we talk about, lack of defense, et cetera, and you get some good stuff in the chat over here too. I don't know if you see it there.
Yeah, I'm plugging through right now.
How much of that do y'all think is? Have you ever played with an international player, PJ? And how much of that is there just a language barrier, or when you're playing basketball, is there no language barrier because we all play basketball, so you know where you're supposed to be in basketball terms? Like, is there? I guess because he's not American. Is
I get
that
what you're saying.
Okay? Go.
So I played in Chile for 6 months.
Okay.
They knew when I got there, like I played at Carolina, I played in the NBA. Like they knew all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like when I got there, they were trying to prove to me that they should be in the NBA. You get what I'm saying?
That's
so
what Luka feels like.
It's like they were trying to prove to me, like, oh, I could go play there too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because even games down there, like I'm scoring 25, 30 with ease. Like I'm just, I'm scoring, and they're not. And they're not realizing that's what they call me down here for.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really do this.
Yeah.
So practices came, and we'd be in practice. Like instead of like running drills and trying to do the scout report for the next team, they want to play 1-on-1. They want to do all that stuff. Like
you the measure.
So I just feel like it was more so they're trying to prove to an American that they can play at the top level too. And granted, don't get me wrong, you had some down there that were probably capable and maybe could have, but in reality, no.
All right, well, so let me ask you this, because in that scenario, you go to you said Chile, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're there, and you're the foreigner, like you're the one who doesn't speak the language and doesn't, et cetera, et cetera. You're the Luka on that team. How difficult was it for you to adjust to a foreign land and foreign languages, or does none of that matter because it's basketball?
I'm gonna be real. I didn't think about it because it was basketball. I'm telling you, when I signed the contract, the guy that helped me sign the contract, he spoke a little English, and I remember the one thing he said. He said, "You come down here and you score the ball." So at that point, I'm like, "Shit, I'm just going." I'm going to hoop. Like, so. But honestly, I'm gonna be real. I didn't know like if them dudes was crazy, like they was gonna try something. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like I didn't know.
Yeah.
But it was surprising to me down there how many people like really watched NBA basketball, because this dude had pulled out a booklet of like literally every Hornets game I played in, like a picture from every Hornets game. I'm like,
that's the one thing. Yeah, the one thing NBA has over the NFL and other sports is that it's truly international, and that's really due to the '92 Dream Team. Like that Olympic run opened it up to have a Luka Doncic 20-some years later, or Dirk Nowitzki, or whoever, or Luka at Carolina now. Like that opened up the whole floodgate or whatever. And now we talk about it on here all the time. The top 5 players in the NBA, none of them are American right now, right? Didn't we do this a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Like, and not to mention when I played in Chile, my team was horrible. We were horrible because they were so worried about scoring more points than me.
So nobody's playing defense.
So nobody's playing defense.
Nobody doing nothing.
And then the coach is pissed because nobody's playing defense, but he's drawing up all the players for me.
Liz T. Richardson in the comments watching us on Facebook Watch says Luka was a star overseas. I don't think he knows how to be a star with splash of being a role player. And
that's what I was asking. That's what I was trying to ask PJ in our chat. Like, how difficult is it, PJ? Because again, when you went to Chile, you knew that you were the guy. They brought you down. You got the contract, the green light. Even at Carolina, Roy Williams said you're one of the best shooters he's ever seen in his life, and that's a high accolade. So he knew you could put the ball in the net. What do you think the mind temperament is of a PJ? JP Powell or Jaden Young or Evans, who not Evans because he's pretty much starting, but Dixon, who don't know when their number's going to be called. And HD has said this the 5 years he's been there. You don't know when your number's going to be called, but when it's called, I need you to produce. Is that realistic? Like, can you get into a realistic rhythm, if you don't know if you're going to play at all tonight, let alone when you do get thrown out there? If you have one defensive lapse, you're right back to the bench. You're not playing anymore for the rest of the game. Like, how can you even be a formidable player for the team under those parameters?
I'm gonna be real. You just gotta put your ego to the side, because if at the end of the day, they're all getting paid regardless, no matter who's getting paid what, they're still giving you money to be there. Yeah. So you still gotta put the work in. Your ego gotta be to the side. And yes, like certain games like that, defensive lapses matter.
Yeah.
Like we weren't up 30.
Right.
And where he could be like, oh, all right, patch on the back, get it right next time. No, we were losing. Like, we're in a dogfight. You can't. We can't have lapses. So at that point, it doesn't matter who it is. Right. It could have been Caleb. He probably would have pulled Caleb too. Probably not as long, but but you get what I'm saying. Like,
and now Carolina's net rating is 30, if I'm not mistaken. Last year, when they just got into the tournament, their net rating was 32. Of course, that was a different ACC. It's not as many quad one availability wins out there. I think their next one should be Virginia, and that should be coming up, actually. I think it's at Virginia, too, so that's a quad one there.
Next Saturday. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm having a watch party in Charlotte. Watch party in Charlotte for the Virginia game. Next Saturday is the Georgia Tech game, and then both Duke games. It's at a spot called Aura Hi-Fi, and we will be doing the podcast live for the Duke games.
Yeah, the two Duke games. We should be in the house doing the Duke games live. I think, what time are those games? Like 6 o'clock? So we'll probably do pregame. We'll probably do a pregame show. And I'm hoping we can get some former Heels to pop by, some that live in the Charlotte area to come through, and then we'll stick around and watch the game.
Well, we got one. We definitely got one right there.
Yeah, right there. So getting that Rolodex, PJ, see who you can
call the boys out, man. Get Kennedy on the line, man. Get the boys out, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna get that set up down there in Charlotte. But before we get to all that stuff, they got Cal Saturday.
And I went to sleep last night. Once I saw that Duke was gonna win that game at halftime, once I saw Isaiah Evans going crazy, I just went to sleep. I couldn't take anymore. And
can I just say this?
How did that game end? How many did Duke win by?
Like 16. It was like 16.
They pulled away at the very end.
But
they won 71-56.
Yeah. I do want to say one thing though. And don't get me wrong, I love UNC to death. Like, if I could go back and do my years over, I would. But if we don't get our sugar honey iced tea together, the ACC is tough. You just named 8 teams before you even named us, Des.
I know.
What, 15 teams in the ACC?
Yeah. And about half of them gonna get in this year. I'm looking. Okay, here's
like, come on now. Like, we don't want to be at the bottom barrel. The bottom of the barrel.
Okay, so the schedule's manageable. I'm just gonna go up to the first Duke game. You got at Cal, so that'll end our little West Coast swing here. That's 4 o'clock ACC Network on Saturday. We'll be back before the next game. That's at home against Notre Dame. Notre Dame is 1-3 in the conference, 10-7. I think they got a freshman too.
They beat Stanford.
And they beat Stanford not that long ago. Then you're at Virginia, which is always a hard place to play.
They just put belt to Louisville.
And I was about to say, let me just say this too. We walk into Charlottesville acting like we got it all.
All right.
Ryan Odom got that team purring right now. Like
Big-
that's a
big
2
belt.
ESPN. Then
Big
at
apple.
Georgia Tech, at Georgia Tech, January 31st, and then at home against Syracuse, February 2nd, and then the first Duke game on February 7th. That's a 6:30 tip off, by the way, on ESPN. That's Duke. I mean, out of those games, they should be favored in all of them, except for maybe Virginia. And then, of course, the Duke game. That's actually at home. That's in the Dean Dome, that first one. So senior night will be at Cameron this year. The Virginia game is concerning because it's not the same Virginia that we're used to, where it feels like we're just playing in mud. This game, they like to run. They like to get out and go, and they got some dudes that can play. I don't know about Syracuse yet. I haven't seen enough of them. I've seen them in clips.
They're capable.
They're capable. They're 3-1 in conference play.
And Carmelo Anthony's going to be there, and Kenyon Anthony's going to go for a 20 ball. Like, these things are just going to happen, guys. Like, y'all know stuff like that is going to happen. Like, and it's so frustrating to know going into a game that somebody, they've said it in the comments all day, somebody's going to Steph Curry us. We're going to have lapses on defense. Like, and it's so frustrating because, again, this is one of the best teams that HD has put together, in my opinion, in his tenure.
Yeah. Roster-wise, yeah, I totally agree with that in terms of the way they were put together. Liz says, love hearing people talk realistically about what's going on. We decided, we were talking about that, how are we going to handle this? Are we just going to be the positive?
You can be fans of a team and be realistic. I told, like, who did I tell? I don't know if I told Daht or you did. I'm like, we can still love the hell out of the team, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it and be like, it's all right, put a Band-Aid on it. Like,
I've been the host for Bleav and Panthers for Bleav Podcast Network since 2020. This was the first season that we had a fun season to actually talk about all year. Usually at this point, I'm thinking about the draft and like all this other stuff. We're talking about other teams. But like this year was the first year where I can't even say we had a winning season. Like we won the NFC South, but we were 8-9, got in a playoff game. That playoff game, shout out!
Y'all should have won.
I saw you were there. Charlotte. Oh my gosh, it was so loud in that stadium.
It was so much energy in Bank of America Stadium, man. Cam Newton came out that joint. Then they had all the greats: Jake Del Home, Wesley,
Steve Smith.
Dude, it was just
50. It felt so good to be a parent. I woke up the next morning, like I felt like I woke up from like a fever dream. Like, did that happen last night? Like that, that whole thing felt like a movie.
And I was telling somebody, imagine if they had won that game.
Man, that's all we were saying.
You'd have thought the Super Bowl was in Charlotte.
No, when we was walking down the street in Charlotte, after it was like, man, can you imagine how lit it would be out here if they would have won that game, man?
They would have to shut the streets down. The streets.
That's the MVP of the league, man. Like Matt Stafford is a dog, man. You can't give him.
The pass he threw to the tight end to go with the go ahead touchdown. That's why he's an MVP candidate, and that you can't throw it anywhere.
He's a top MVP.
Like,
bro,
the Panthers couldn't even be mad the way the game ended. I couldn't even be mad at it. I was just like,
the Panthers were playing their best version of Carolina basketball defense on that last drive.
They were playing some prevent. Now
I'm talking about prevent.
And actually, for everybody watching here, if you want to know why they were playing that, go over and watch Bleav and Panthers. Me and Stu put out that episode Monday, and we explained why they were playing prevent in that situation. And
I'm going to watch that because I definitely want to know.
Yeah, because there was reasons why they were doing it.
Really?
For one, J.C. Horn was in the medical tent. Like he got knocked out with maybe another concussion like the series before, because he had a concussion a couple weeks prior. So you don't really want to mess with that. So he was in the tent. And with Stafford, they were more worried about them throwing over the top of them, because there's only one Mike Jackson in the backfield. Everybody else was kind of just back there. If they could keep everything in front of them, they were up by 4. So the Rams had to score a touchdown. Field goal wasn't well.
That's all I kept saying. Like, I was like, I don't care. Give them everything underneath. They got to get 6, and they damn sure got 6.
But see, Stafford, it was either going to be death by 1,000 cuts, or it was going to be one big bomb. Like he was going to either hit you on a 4, because Puka Nacua was killing us in the first half.
But you heard what Devontae Adams said. Matt Stafford said right before they went on that drive.
Oh yeah, he's going to take our hearts or whatever.
Let's take their hearts.
Yeah, I'm going to take their hearts.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he told the.
He said that was the most gangster. He said that was the most gangster thing Matthew Stafford ever said.
I heard him say, I was like, oh wow, okay, yeah, and then he did. He did exactly what he said. He said exactly what he was going to do, and he went out and did it. But that game, I left that game watching it on TV. I was like, the only time I could think of Bank of America Stadium being that loud was when Stu had his run in 2015 when Seattle came here, the divisional round, where the very first play of the game, they hand off to Jonathan Stewart. He runs straight up the gut for like 60-something plus yards, and Bank of America Stadium felt like it was going to lift off the ground. Like it was going to take off.
Bro, that's how I felt there, man. Like, you could literally feel the stadium shaking.
Yeah, that's when it's different.
Everybody had their towels. Like, it was – but what was
even
crazy,
Ain't nothing like it. When when they have a winner in Uptown Charlotte, there is nothing like Bank of America Stadium.
Can you imagine the next time the Hornets go to the playoffs?
Bro, I saw you talking about John Morant this morning. I saw that because we were talking about trading.
He's got to go.
Not to hear. I don't want him here. Like
they need to send him on to Shanghai.
Y'all see they talking about a trade with bringing Anthony Davis here? I don't want him here either.
Here? Somebody talking about Anthony Davis here?
Or what? I told somebody they need to.
It was Miles Bridges, Sexton, and they would keep their 2027 first round pick, and we would take Anthony Davis.
Oh hell!
Why do people keep trading their best players for Anthony Davis? He's going to play. He's not even going to play, but 25% of the season.
He's going to play 25 games.
What's the injury he has right now? It's a
who knows? Another one.
His pinky toe.
DJ Khaled of injuries. Another one.
It's pinky toe. That's what it is.
Street clothes. And I hate it for him.
They 13, 14 years too late on giving us Anthony Davis. They should have gave us Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
And of course, the Hornets would want to take him now.
Right. That's what we are.
You about to trade for him, and he's gonna be out for 20 more games.
Yeah.
Right beside Melo, sitting on the bench.
Yo, the Hornets just dropped 150 points on the Jazz the other night. I'm like, now that they're getting healthy, that core of Ball, Knipple.
So why would you bring an Anthony Davis into that and mess it up?
I think I saw they have the highest plus negative thing or whatever when that group is in or whatever the category is. Like when that those
plus minus when that 5 is in.
Yeah, when those four.
So why break that up?
I want to keep Miles.
Because we're the Hornets.
No. We need a center. We need Caleb Wilson, to be honest with you.
I was about to say
right there, we get to go.
I'll take Henry Vassar too.
I would take Henry Vassar, to be honest. Like I
would. Don't get it twisted, because if Henry Vassar does get drafted, maybe the second round, maybe. Who's to say Charlotte don't pick him up with
that's what Charlotte does. That's those second round picks. Duke, Carolina. That's what they pick those guys. Zion James.
Ray Felton.
Zion James is on the Hornets.
I think Zion James is the only player that's played every game this season for the Hornets, and he was a guy that I don't think any of us expected to do a whole lot in the NBA. He's just like one of them blue guys.
But he's like 6'5", like 240, and he runs like a bull. So
he got a little dog in him. He got a little dog.
Yeah, he gonna. He's like a Lou Dort.
Ooh, that's a good comparison, actually.
Hey, Sarah, can you put that? Yeah, that's what I want you to put. Sarah shook up the table.
This is a really good question from Sarah.
Sarah shook up the table with this one.
I'm going to be the bad guy here, but we played better as a team when Trimble was out. Love Trim, but the team meshed better when they had to be a team instead of individuals. I like how she just threw that grade near.
Can I ask a question regarding that? Do y'all think the chemistry is not there yet since he's been back?
I was worried about this while he was out because I'm like, that's kind of the. Remember how I was saying at the beginning of the year that Hubert cleared this whole roster out? It was only 3 guys that were kind of sort of back from previous rosters, so they were still learning. They've only played 17 games together, and you lost Seth for what, a month and a half or something out of that. So maybe 10 games he missed, and he wasn't there while they were kind of meshing and starting to play really well. Then you throw him back in. He's a senior. He's a captain. He's gonna start, and if he's not going to drop 15, 18 a game like out the gate. Is it a hindrance to have Seth in? Because you don't want to bring him off the bench, right? So Sarah brings up a good point. Like, is that the problem? Is it
Here's my thing with Seth. I think this year we started depending on Seth to do things that is not really in Seth's wheelhouse.
Or stuff we never seen him do. Yeah.
Yeah, I just started hearing stuff like interviews. They're like, so Seth, when did you become such a sharpshooter? I'm like, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. I cringe the same way. And I love Theo, but the same way I used to when Theo would shoot a 3 is the same way I do when Seth shoots 3s.
I'm laughing because I just do the same thing.
I'm telling you, and when they go in, I'm like, yeah, boy.
No, yes.
But when he misses it, I'm like, that ain't even your shot, because Seth and Theo play similar styles. They're slashers. They're getting in the paint. They're getting in the lane. They're making things happen from a fast break perspective. They're super athletic, so they're going to get up and get rebounds and ones and stuff like that. But a spot knockdown shooter, Seth's never been that. Like, even when we talk about putting him as a point guard because we need something there, his ball handling isn't up to par to be a for real point guard in the ACC. Like, he can't get us in sets and control the offense that way. Like, that's just not his skill set, right? But because he's our senior, we're depending on him to do these things. And I'm telling him, like, I think I think everybody's having difficulty in what their role is. Even Caleb sometimes.
Now,
I think everybody is like, even 17, 18 games in, there's still no identity to this team. And I wonder how much of that is from upstairs. Like, because even when you think about HD, I love HD. Like, I genuinely love this dude. But what would you say his identity is? Like, is he a defensive coach? Is he an offensive coach? He doesn't really have an identity. He's just an emotional leader.
He's not threes shooting, but he's not a defensive coach. That's not the first thing I think of. I think of spacing more than 3 guys that can hit a 3 on the court at any given time, bigs that can shoot threes and can rotate. I think of motion. Like, I think of like, because he played most of his NBA career with the Knicks, right? But I don't think of Knicks 90s basketball when I think of what Hubert's putting on the floor for the Heels. It feels kind of like he's trying to merge Dean Smith's offense with Roy Williams' offense and sprinkling shooters in all of it. Because like some of the elements are still the same. You got to have a point guard out there. He does not have one right now. You got to have 2 bigs out there pretty much at all times. And Henry Vassar, to be honest, he might be more valuable to them as a team on the court than Caleb Wilson is. Because when he's out there, he's kind of the linchpin of everything else that goes on. If he's out and Wilson is in, they kind of drop off a little bit. Like, and Wilson might start forcing stuff because of it. But when Vassar's in there, Wilson don't really force anything. It just lets the game come to him. He's the main important character of this team to me is Vassar, like at this point. But they don't have a point guard. That I don't know if Dixon or Evans will grow into half of what you need at Carolina to play point, because at some point you're going to need that point guard to win a game for you. And Dixon's already done that once this year. Remember, like a month ago.
So he proved he can do it.
He proved he could do it. Evans hasn't had that moment yet. But you know what I'm talking about, PJ? There's going to be a moment somewhere in this season where a Carolina point guard, they're going to look at him and be like, you bring it home. Like, you do it. And they're not even going to ask him. He has to go do it. He has to either go drive to the cup, hit a 3, something. All those point guards we named in that thing, from Joel Berry to Phil Ford, Kenny Smith, Tyler, is there any one of them you would not want the ball in their hands with 10 seconds to go down by 1? Joel Berry, Ty Lawson, Ed Cota, Kenny Smith, Phil Ford. Not one of them. On this team,
and then you know with Ed Cota,
hands with 10 seconds to go, down 1.
And then you know yeah, he's gonna get in the paint, throw a lob
to Vince Carter, like game over. Like, I mean, like, but do you trust that? And I hate it because I want to pile on these kids, but do you feel that way with Kyon Evans right now? Would you want the ball in his hands, directing traffic for a last shot down by 1 against Duke or whatever? Would you, do you trust Kyon Evans in that position?
No.
Do you trust Derek Dixon more?
No.
I trust you spread the offense out and get a ball to Caleb at the elbow.
That's the problem. That until they figure that out, Carolina's a second round team. Like they can't get anywhere without the engine. Like, they got a pretty car, but the engine's always been number 1 at Carolina.
I'm gonna say it again, and it's no point in crying over spilt milk or however that stupid phrase goes. But this is the team that Elliot Cadeau would have thrived in.
What were we talking about?
What did I just say before we
started off camera?
This is the team that Elliot Cadeau would have thrived.
Look, I said, and I'm gonna take it a step further. I said Elliot Cadeau and Van Lubin.
Yeah.
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
Because Van Lubin will be that third big man we talking about.
He'd be that third big.
And he ain't playing any more at State than he would have at
Carolina.
Carolina.
That's about to say, he's playing way less at State than he was at Carolina.
He's probably regretting the decision at this point too, looking at what Carolina has. Like, oh man, I could have slid right in there where they're trying to put Zayden High.
Unless you look at his bank account.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we just gone and taking on it.
As my 13-year-old daughter says, clock that team.
To say the only thing that will make you feel good about losing is that bank account.
A pile of money. Don't tell.
Shout out to Sarah Falk Stevens and Liz Richardson. I think we need to get y'all a podcast because y'all here own it.
Nah, we got to bring them up, man. I like the way they talk.
Yeah. Liz is like, it seems like on offense, some people were more comfortable on offense before Seth came back. Now they all seem discombobulated.
I was going to say this. Look, listen, and I was letting you talk. Go back to that Ohio State game when Seth first came back.
Yeah,
y'all didn't see anything off with that game.
I don't remember like, what happened. What you say?
No,
it just seemed like we were moving way slower.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like Like, and don't get me wrong, and those fast breaks we were having before Seth got hurt, a lot of those were layups or dunks.
Yeah.
Like when Seth came back, that's Seth's game, so he was trying to force a lot of those layups and wasn't getting the foul call because Seth has that tendency to leave his feet off 2 feet and against like a 6'11", 7-footer and get a little contact and try to look for the foul. We don't get the foul. That's a fast break the other way.
Damn, Sarah in here like throwing darts. Like I'm
Sarah talking that talk.
I think Coach Davis depends on Trimble to coach on the court, and that's not his role. When Seth was out, coach better than I've seen him in years. Now he's gone back to being complacent. Loaded comments, Sarah. And I think there might be a lot of truth in that because maybe he is dependent on that senior on the court to do some of the stuff he was having to do when he wasn't on the court. Maybe Hubert needs to go back to doing that even with Seth on the court. That's actually, I didn't even think about that. That's actually, that makes a lot of sense. Because Hubert was a lot more vocal when Seth was out. Now I'm sitting there thinking about it.
Really? I feel like HD is always over there screaming and walking up and down. Like HD is the only coach that I know that has not sat down in his chair in 5 seasons. he's never sitting down, and
he's mad. He's mad when he calls the timeout and he puts them glasses down.
Put them glasses down like Roy, smack that table.
And he just waits. He waits for y'all to come over. I'm like, oh, he were about to yell at him real quick with no curse words. So
I was mad as hell. at the end of the game where I thought we was about to get that steal, and that referee called foul on Kyan Evans. I'm like, how the hell he called that foul? And then they showed the replay, and Kyan grabbed bro whole jersey and about.
Yep. I was like, oh no. I saw it too because they showed it from the front. I was like, oh no.
I said,
oh no. Come on,
Kyan, I was screaming, well, how he make that call? I'm with HD. He can't make that call. And then I looked at the replay. I was like, no, everybody.
Pass interference. That's you can't grab him, man. You can't grab him the line, bro. So okay, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. And again, I thought when we came in here, I was gonna prepare some stuff, but I woke up thinking about that game. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we can get through the whole show, just kind of dissecting what went wrong, because everything we just said that went wrong, that's not a quick fix. Like, they got to figure this out now. They got to play Cal
That's my question. Or 2 days. Like, you're in practice today, PJ. Is this time for us to take the rims off the goals?
Like it ain't that, because they didn't get beat by 30. It ain't that. But I will say
the games.
I will say it needs to be one of those practices where Hubert might cuss somebody out,
and
he don't cuss.
Yeah, he don't cuss.
It need to be one of those. Like, because when when we used to have those practices, we might have won or we might have only lost by 3. And he start going down the line of what we could have did to avoid losing by 3. It pisses him off.
Yeah.
When he goes over everything, he goes over the tape and comes to practice the next day. You do not know how bad we just pissed him off walking into that gym. Just because he watched tape from last night.
Right.
So I think I don't think you should go as far as taking the rims off just yet. But I do think this need to be one of those practices where Hubert puts his foot down, like, all right, you're not gonna play if you're gonna do this. You're not gonna play if you don't do this. And this is who I'm gonna have playing if we can't get it together.
They got to be Cal. That almost becomes a must win in my mind.
And this is another thing I'm gonna say. And I'm done. Hubert is going to keep his job. People keep saying, fire him. He's not going to lose his job.
Yeah,
he's not out there playing.
Yeah.
If people don't think Hubert is in that huddle preaching guard the 3,
right,
you're insane.
Yeah,
right.
He knows.
You think he don't see it? Like, they literally shot 16 for 28 from 3 last night.
Right.
You don't think he said something after the SMU game? You don't think he said something after the Wake game at home?
Yep. Right. Yeah, I mean,
Hubert can't dress up. He can't go out there and play and do it. The most he can do is coach you up as he's supposed to do, put you through drills that help you get through screens, pick and rolls, learn the rotations. But he can't put his sneakers on and go out there and close out to a 3-point shooter. He can't do that.
I will say, taking a macro view of all this before we get out of here, I know we've been really hard on them because they lost last night. They've lost 3 games this year. They lost to 11th ranked Michigan State 74-58. They lost to SMU 97-83, and they lost to Stanford last night, 95-90. And the Stanford game and the SMU game, both of those teams shot over 50% from three. That normally doesn't happen. The Michigan State game, they just were a better team than us that day.
More physical.
Yeah,
they were way more physical.
Yeah.
That's a respectable loss.
Right.
SMU and Stanford.
SMU and Stanford are both 12, 13-win teams. Like, that's what I'm saying. By the time this is said and done, I think both of them might be in the top half of the ACC, and they're probably both going to be in the tournament. So, like, we haven't lost a game where previous years we would have lost to, like in the past 4 or 5 years, we might have lost to Radford or to St. Bonnie's or Navy, like some of these teams that we beat. Georgetown, that's a perfect game right there. We would have lost that game. Or the Kentucky game, we would have lost that Kentucky game. Like if it was previous years. Kansas, we would have lost that game.
Absolutely.
For the ones that we lost, I'm okay. SMU was just a situation where it got to a point in the second half where I'm like, just throwing my hands up. Like, I mean, we're in their face and they're hitting threes. Like, they just had a day. Like, they just had a day. Last night is the only one where I'm like, all right, we didn't hit a bunch of free throws. They hit a bunch of threes, but we still should have won that game. And that's the only one.
That's my problem.
You know?
That's my problem. Like, a tale of a great team to me is not the team that upsets teams that they're not supposed to beat. A tale of a good team to me is the team that beats the teams they're supposed to beat.
Yeah.
So, like, when you talk about SMU and Stanford, like Stanford, I think I saw a note that said they were like 160 in Ken Palm or something. Like, there's no way we should lose to that team. That team just scored 40 points and lost against Notre Dame on their own home court. Now, yes, they just beat, I think I said they beat SMU or they beat Louisville.
Louisville.
And so, again, the ACC, it's a gauntlet. It's a juggernaut of teams, so anything can happen. But when we beat teams like Kentucky, when we beat teams like Kansas, you know, like, we're under the expectation that when there's a SMU team, we're going to put Bedazzle Belt. When there's a Cal team, we're going to put Bedazzle Belt. Now, if we would have lost like this to Virginia in a couple of weeks, that's understandable. Virginia is a juggernaut.
They're good.
SMU and Stanford are not juggernauts. But by them making themselves juggernauts, by being confident by the way they're beating us, and now it's like, yo, we beat Carolina like that. They was ranked 12, 14. Now we look at what we can do. Like, we put batteries in a lot of teams back. We got 2 losses. Let me say this last thing. We got 2 losses in the ACC already. You just named, I think, 4 teams that are undefeated in the ACC. And Miami being one. You dig what I'm saying? Like, so Virginia, we're not in any more room to lose any more games. And let me tell you something. We're going to lose another game in the conference. At least one more. At least.
We got Duke twice.
And look, and if you don't think all these teams are watching us play and say, damn, they give up a lot of threes.
Yes.
Guess what?
I know them. I know the day before practice and they come play. I know everybody in the gym is shooting a 3, even the managers.
Fact.
Like because watching it just
off the goals, man. And I know you said it ain't that because we ain't got beat by 30 yet, but the way we're losing these games, it feels like we're losing by 30. Like, it didn't even feel like we led majority of that game last night, and we did.
It
but
did.
It didn't feel like it.
It didn't feel like it.
Not feel like it. And once they took the lead, they never looked back. Like, we have got to focus on defense. And I saw somebody in the chat saying that taking the goals off of this generation don't work. I disagree. Like, I think that's one of those skills that's old as time, man. Like, we put up 90 points. There's no way we should ever lose putting up 90 points.
That part.
And miss what? How many free throws?
At least 12.
And what did we shoot from the 3?
We were
7 for 26 from the 3 or something like that.
Free throws. We was 20 for 32 from free throw, 63%, and we were 6 from 16 from 3-point range. So we hit 6
That's 10 threes and 12 free throws. That's 42 points.
Damn.
We get half of that, we win by 30.
And you've said that before, you know, like the free throws thing stands out to me, but man,
like I swear I don't be making it up.
And actually Garrett Clemens Sports makes a good point here. We have played the easier team so far in the ACC.
Exactly.
And that's my point.
We ain't seen Virginia. We ain't seen
that. And we're 1 and 2.
And that's why I said it can go from sugar honey iced tea. It could go from it could go from sugar to sugar honey iced tea real quick.
We'll leave it with this. The leading assist person on this team is Kyan Evans. Can y'all guess how many assists per game this dude's averaging right now?
2.
3.2.
3.4. with 5.9 points per game. He's also averaging a turnover and a half. So he's got like a 2-to-1 turnover to assist ratio right now. Like
leading the team as the point guard with 3 assists just ain't gonna cut it.
No, not this. Not Carolina. No.
Gotta do one or the other. If you're gonna average 3 assists, you need to be averaging 13 to 14.
And he ain't. And I don't think he's built like that in the ACC. So it's like we got to get out of the whole we paid him, so we got to play him thing. And because the football team fell victim to that with Gio, and now Gio is at Wake Forest now. Like so it's one of those things where eventually Hubert's gonna have one of the moments where he's like, you know what? I know we gave you $2 million, blah, 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 whatever. You had a run in the tournament last year. I got to give these keys to somebody else. And Seth is not a point guard, so it's not going to be Seth. It might be Derek Dixon.
And it's crazy. Seth's traditional position is a point guard.
He's never played.
That's what he came. He came to North Carolina recruited as a point guard.
But he was a downhill point guard. Like he wasn't a pitch in sets. I got pats. I can control the offense point guard. He was a slashing ass. I'll dunk on your big point guard.
He was more like Kobe White a little bit in terms of he was more of a scoring point guard, right? Like
Kobe White is the all-time leading scorer in North Carolina high school history.
I didn't mean like they're both the comparable.
And that's no disrespect to Seth, but Kobe scoring is like it's a reason he was one and done. One of few that was one and done.
And that's honestly that low key is what started the hiccup at Carolina. I ain't gonna say started, but that definitely because Roy thought that he had him for at least 2 years.
So he could play with Cole Anthony. We said that.
In hindsight, though, he probably made the right choice because look, that year, if he had stayed the next year, by the end of it, we were in COVID.
Yeah, that's when we shut down. Yep.
Yeah, so it was like he probably made the right choice. Is he still in Chicago? He's still in Chicago, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Until they come to Charlotte.
It's his contract year, so I don't know where he's gonna end up.
Kobe White in
Charlotte. We'll take his ass in Charlotte.
Him for LaMelo, little swap.
I don't know about now. Hold on now. Like I don't know. Because I'm coming back around on LaMelo. Like I don't know.
Because LaMelo been playing good since he started coming off the bench. Yeah,
he's healthy. He ain't getting them ankles turned like every 48 minutes or whatever it was he was averaging before. Like, is he still coming off the bench?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Fine, whatever. I mean, if this is going to make 250 points, then hey, even with that, like, I don't care if I'm coming off the bench. You already gave me my bag, so it's like it's fine. Like, whatever you need me to do, coach. So, we're gonna go get out of here. I think somebody came to PJ's door. So
it was Jehovah's Witness. The Jehovah's Witness came to PJ's door.
Maybe they can play point guard for Carolina. I don't know. So we need somebody. Help!
Somebody help! Hey, did you Garrett Clemens Sports had gave PJ a shout out too. He said that he was by the way.
There it is. By the way, he's a huge fan. Loved the game.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, so we had a lot come through today on the live show. So
we did, man. Big shouts to all of y'all, man. Appreciate that today.
And come back through because we'll be back on. Usually we're on like Wednesdays, but they played last night, so we decided to wait till after to do the post. We'll probably be back next Wednesday. We're usually about 11 o'clock. You can find us on the Tobacco Road Sports Radio YouTube channel for the live video. It's also on X. Follow Daht on X because he'll resend it out. Or you can follow at Tobacco Radio and it'll be there. And then also on Facebook too. The audio, actually, if you listen to audio pods, go follow Bleav Podcast Networks. Go find us there. And it goes out to Spotify and iTunes and every place else. And that'll be up here a little bit shorter lately, here in a little bit, I should say, so you can get to it while you're at work. We'll be back next week. By that point, they would have played Cal and actually, I think they have a game on Wednesday next week.
So is it Wednesday? Is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
That's Notre Dame.
Yeah, they play Notre Dame Wednesday at 7. So we maybe.
So let's do Thursday next week.
Yeah, we might do Thursday. Yeah, so probably Thursday at 11. That way we can talk Cal, Notre Dame, and we'll be going into the Virginia game, which would be that weekend, if I'm not mistaken.
And the watch party in Charlotte. So if there's anybody in the Charlotte area,
next Saturday. You said next Saturday.
Yep, 24.
Where you get your hat at, Bleav? I need that.
What's crazy is I got this hat. This is the very first one. I got like 3 more of them, but this one I got it in the Dean Dome back in like 2008. They don't the people that produce these hats, they don't even produce them anymore, bro.
Damn,
I was at a Walmart one time by the beach, and when I was in the Walmart, I saw a row of these. They had like 20 of them. I was like, dang, let me go ahead and get 2 or 3 more of them. I got 2 or 3 more. So I got like 3 total. But I wish I'd have got all 20 of them hoes. Like everybody always asking me, but they're just not, they're discontinued. This is actually discontinued, though.
Shout out to
making more so I can sell them my damn self.
Yeah, that's the trick right there. Garrett Clemens Sports says no, LaMelo only came off the bench 1 game. That sounds right.
And balled out. I think they lost that game, but he balled out. I think he had like 33. He was hitting
they dropped 150 on the Jazz. Like night before last, they dropped 150. Like,
yeah, I did see that. They was up like 78-30 at halftime or something.
Yeah. So, we'll see what the Hornets do. Yeah. Now, if the Hornets get hot in Charlotte, that's a whole different buzz than the Panthers. Like, that's a whole
because that's not like a 1-game playoff. That's a series.
That's a series. Yeah. That's with a young team. That's what I'm waiting on. So we're gonna get out of here. We can talk Hills, Hornets, everything all day long. But we'll be back. So Thursday, 11 o'clock next week, live. Come back through. We'll have mailbag going on. Maybe we start the different position for that all-time team that we were doing. We already did the point guards. Maybe we'll do that one as well, depending on how Carolina makes us feel when we come in here, because they might have us Aggie when we come in here, and so we'll see. But we'll see you guys next week here on another episode of Bleav and Heal.
This is Tar Heel Nation, Carolina through and through. Hoops, yeah, we talk that blue. We believe in Hills hoops. How about you? PJ with that jumper, still the truth. Daht, he the 6 man coming through. Desmond been the voice, and that's the root.